Hello, and welcome. Another tasting is going on. It's 8:01, so I'm getting a little bit closer to my 8 o'clock startup time, closer than I have been for the past few weeks. Sorry about that. So I'm going to wait for a couple of you guys to come in, and we'll get this week started. I'm really excited. Hey, I have two viewers. It's not telling me who came in. Oh, hey, Teresa, you're number one. There's one other person. It's not telling me who, but that's okay. I'll find out in just a moment. So I'm going to do, for the first time, it's not one of my blends. It's one that is bought from the store, but happens to be one of my favorites. Hey, Ma, welcome. It happens to be one of my favorites. As you guys know, I've talked quite a bit about Jasmine tea, and I'm finally doing one of my my favorites, Jasmine Silver Needle. So that's gonna be coming out. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? I guess my my reminder worked. So I'm gonna be doing my Jasmine Silver Needle, which is actually a mixture of jasmine tea and white tea. So I've had it before, and it was out of this world. So I'm gonna do it for you guys tonight. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes just in case a couple more people gonna show up. I put out a lot of reminders, but just like me, people come in late. Nothing can be done. So this one is my first store-bought brand. I didn't create it, so there's no charity, there's no extra in it. I'm still going to post the link afterwards because it's one of my. Hey, Brianne, how's it going? It's gonna be. I'm gonna post the link afterwards because it's one that I stand by. I love jasmine tea, and oh yeah, that's great. Thanks for sharing. Everybody else, if you can share it, get the word out there, I would very much appreciate it. So it looks like we've got a good amount of people in. So I'm gonna go ahead and start brewing the tea. Well, not brewing the tea. I'm gonna heat up the water. Now, normally this is this is a mixture of a green tea and a white tea. So the way I'm going to heat up the water is going to be more towards the green tea flavor, because when you have a white tea, it's not as strong as a green tea. So you usually have to brew it a little bit cooler in temperature, but not by so much that it comes out like just lukewarm. That's going to be awful. So I'm brewing this one at 180 degrees. It's going to take about between 3 and 5 minutes. It's jasmine alone is a pretty strong green tea, so I have full confidence that it'll still come out really good. So in the meantime, I wanted to, Allie, how's it going? You made it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the jasmine flavor because I can't get enough of it. Jasmine alone is very fragrant and very delicate. It's very perfumey. So it's kind of depending on. Hey, Mrs. Chinese, you made it. It's kind of dependent on the quality of the leaf. Sometimes if you mix it with a stronger green tea, you'll get a saltier flavor. But if you have a lighter... Hey, welcome, Gabe. When you have a softer green tea accompanied by it, you get more of the jasmine flavor, and it's a very light... very almost silky taste to it. So it sounds like my water's almost done. I don't know if you can hear the water boiling, but it's just about to start to steam. And since this is going to be at 108, oh, it's 118. No, I always do that. 180. Sorry, at 180 degrees. You can use it in baking. I don't know cooking so much. Hey Shayna, you're here. I guess you got the word from Nicole that I was doing the stream tonight. But yeah, you can use it in baking. I don't know what you would use it for in cooking. Maybe if you were... Yeah, I was just about to suggest that as like a rub. I would accompany it with fish because it won't overpower the flavor. It'll actually add to it, since fish itself is a pretty light taste to it. So it looks like my water is done. Just gonna pull it off real quick. Alright, so as always, I'm gonna go ahead and open up this tea and give you my, well, I can't say my first impressions because I have had this before, but it has been a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and see what this is. Oh, it didn't open all the way. There we go. Okay, now the one thing I want to definitely show you guys is the look. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it all too well, but here is a silver needle. It's very stiff, very pointy. I don't know how. I hope that you guys can. No, it's not focusing very well. But there's a slit right up the middle, and that's what opens up to. Let me see if there's a better one. There's a couple here that are wider. You could probably see it. Let me separate that. There we go. Yeah, this one looks a little bit better. You can see that there's an opening in the middle. That's where the bloom is, and there's kind of like, you're not going to see it on here, but there's kind of like little hairs in it. Yeah, it's exciting. There's little hairs in it, and that's part of what gives off the flavor. It's a very delicate leaf altogether. So when you get the flavor out of it, it's very soft. It's a very soft flavor. Okay, so my first impressions. It's kind of like, oh, it's really hard to describe. It's like what silk would smell like. It's very almost milky, and it's a really soft. I mean, I guess that's the best way to describe it. It's just really soft and really fragrant. So now I'm gonna pour a little bit in here. Oh, why don't you come out? Oh, it's all stuck. The thing about these kinds of leaves, since they're so big, you shouldn't freeze it. Freezing will actually kind of dull the flavor, but it can stay in a bag like this for about a year or so. So there's no real hurry. There we go. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that. Let's see. All right. I guess that's enough. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to determine how much without using a teaspoon because like I said, the leaves are very big. So when you measure it out, you're gonna actually have to use more because there's not. It takes up so much space that there's not a whole lot of tea in there. So normally I fill up my my thing to about here, but I give it a little bit of extra room because everything is so it expands more. So I'm going to go ahead and pour out the water, and in about 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to probably do it closer to 3, because like I said, this is it's a green tea and a white tea, so it's going to be a little bit more delicate. Let me see what time it is. 8:11. So at about 8:14, I'll unsteep it. Oops, might as well bring out my little cup so I have a place to put my my infuser once I pull it out. And again, as usual, I went ahead and I pre-sweetened my pot with some stevia. I love stevia. It works so much better than sugar, and it's better for you. It's about, I think it's supposed to be like 10 times sweeter. For weight loss, yes. Jasmine, since it's a green tea, it helps purify you. The silver needle is the white tea that purifies you. The green tea is great for metabolism. It's great for your immunity. It's great for circulation. So I would suggest that this would be a really good tea to use. And it's very low in caffeine. It is caffeinated, but not to an extreme point. Like let's say matcha. Matcha I use as an example all the time because it's like the other side of the spectrum, essentially. It's a very concentrated green tea, so there's going to be more caffeine, there's going to be more of the antioxidants and everything that's good for you, but since it's still compact, you'll be taking more caffeine intake. So Jasmine would be great for an afternoon into the evening if caffeine affects you too much. My tolerance is pretty good, so I feel good about doing it at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night. So it looks like I have about 1 minute left. So I'm going to keep it there for a while. As a matter of fact, I think I might leave it in there for an extra minute because it feels like either time is flying way too fast or I might have caught the late end of that last minute. So I'll just round it up a little bit because I want to get the full flavor of the jasmine tea, but I don't want to oversteep it because jasmine is one of those teas where if you leave it in for too long, you'll ruin it. It'll taste more like perfume than that silky flavor that I prefer. Just on a side note, one of my coworkers was talking about he got a tea. It was Earl Grey and jasmine, and that I was very conflicted on because you guys know Earl Grey is not my favorite, and it's an acquired taste. So I told him, I was like, if you don't like it, don't worry. It's an acquired taste. Be sure though that you don't let it turn you off jasmine altogether. Maria, hey, you made it, and you're only 14 minutes late. Even though I told you 5 minutes ago you were... Anyway, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, Earl Grey, it's hard to get used to. No, actually, it's jasmine tea is it's more of a leaf, but the rice is made in the rice paddies. So it's not really related, but it just has the same. Well, you know what? Before I answer completely, I should look that up because I know that the jasmine leaf is very floral. But yeah, you're throwing me off, Hallie. I did get the reference, even though I never read the books, but, it's 8:15. Okay, so let me go ahead and, pull this up. So I know that the jasmine leaf is very floral. I don't believe it's got anything to do with the rice, but it's something that I think I should look up before I answer that with definition. What do you mean, the rice being jasmine, or the jasmine leaf being the rice? All right, I'm just going to mix it up a bit. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys what it smells like once it's completed steeping. Oh yes. Okay, that is more. Hey, princess, you made it. That is more like once you steep it, the perfume side of it comes out more. I really, I really love the way that it smells. If I could get like an air freshener like this, it would be amazing. I think that in this case, the scent comes out stronger after it's wet rather than when it's dry, and it's a good thing that way because you know that you're getting more of the flavor once it's out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. I want to make sure that I give all the best answers. So I'm gonna look it up and I'll post the answer after everything is done and I have the time, because it's good to know. I mean, it never occurred to me that there might be a relationship between Jasmine. Hey, Kara, you made it. The Jasmine tea, the rice, and it just never occurred to me, and I'm assuming grown in rice paddies, and you need a whole lot of water. Jasmine would come from being a tea would come from a tea tree. So I'm just making the comparison based on what on the type of plant that it should come out of. But for something like that, I'm actually interested now in finding out the answer. Okay, so I'm going to take my first sip as usual, and I'm really excited about this. But before I do, I wanted to say a little something. It was a little bittersweet today. Today was my manager's last day, and I didn't get to go to the bar to celebrate and say goodbye. So I'm gonna have my little drink here. In your honor, Kelsey, if you watch this later on, thanks for everything. Oh, this is good. This is really good. Now, I haven't had Jasmine Silver Needle in a while, but so I would imagine that since the Silver Needle is a very light taste, the Jasmine would be more pronounced in here. This is actually, I have a nice soft flavor to it. It's milky and buttery, which I think is amazing. And it's I mean, it's really hard for me to describe Jasmine because every time I do, it's just a Jasmine flavor. It's very distinct. It's not like anything else that's out there. I know, and it's bad because to me, every tea has a different nuance, you know? And I try to find the best words in my own words without like going to the internet and say, okay, so this is how it's described in the on the page. I want to make it more personal. And it's really hard because Jasmine has that kind of distinct flavor. Like you would walk into a tea shop and smell it, say that's Jasmine. But unless you taste it for yourself, you sample it. It's really hard to describe. It's very perfumey. It's very fragrant, very smooth and silky. And you know, I want to say it's more milky than buttery. In this case, rather than the opposite. I think that the Jasmine that I was talking about last week, that high end stuff, is more buttery than milky. And I think that kind of flavor is the difference between the Jasmine Silver Needle and the I keep forgetting the Jasmine. Oh, I always forget the name of this one. Fujian Jasmine and Pearls. One of these days I'll remember. Well, the color is a little bit it's going to be hard to see. You know, let me It's because it's not as pronounced as last week's peaches, but I'll give it a shot. It's a green tea, so I hope that my camera can do it justice. But let me switch it over. Okay, I'm gonna get some light here. So it's a very light green, almost gray color. You can see that where the reflection of the cup is on the opposite end. It's kind of like almost. I'm gonna put that down real quick because I feel my hand is shaking a little bit. It's really hard to tell on the camera what the color is. It's very, very pale green. And it's a little bit different because the Jasmine the Jasmine Silver Needle tea itself is more brownish in color, even though the jasmine itself is technically a green tea. So it's a bit of a contrast. I guess the color dilutes when you steep it, which I think is a good thing in jasmine teas in general, because you don't want to have an overpowering fragrant taste, because like I said before, it starts to taste like perfume. You know, you get that kind of soapy alcoholic taste on your tongue, and it's just, yeah, it's not a good look. Well, welcome back, Maria. You can always go back and watch the parts that you missed, and hopefully you'll find that portion entertaining. Okay, so once again, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Let me know your questions, anything that you want to talk about that's tea related. I'm glad to talk about that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this moment to do a little bit of research and find the answer to that jasmine tea question. Price point. This one, let me go back real quick. It's online. Now, it's a little bit more on the expensive side because it is a jasmine tea. So you'll have, for 1.5 ounces, which is the size that I have here, it's $16. They have the, yeah, I know what you want to talk about, Teresa, and I'll get to that. You and your cookie question. For the 1.5, that's about $16. They have an 8-ounce package, which is going to be $49. That one, if you're more towards the, if you're already a Jasmine fan, I highly recommend it. It would definitely do. It's definitely worth the price. Just like I was talking about last week, the expensive stuff is like going on $40 for 5 ounces. So $49 for this one. It's a really good deal, in my opinion. And don't worry, Teresa, I'll get back to you in just a moment. I'm going to just look up that question real quick. And Jasmine tea related. Okay. What is it called? Jasmine rice. Sarah, you're a little bit late, but welcome. I'm glad you made it. Okay, so let's see what this says. Okay, so at first glance, it doesn't look like they're related. Jasmine rice is more of a white rice. Let me pull up. I just want to double check. Plus, it looks like actually jasmine rice, according to Wikipedia, it says that it comes from Thailand, but jasmine tea comes from Japan. So I want to double check these things. Oh, but they do have jasmine tea infused rice, which I think that might actually be really good. If you boil rice and jasmine tea, that might actually be really good. That's something for me to think about. Okay. Anyway, before I get too excited, let's see. All right. I'm reading. Talking about. Oh no, sorry. It's from China, not Japan. I don't know why I said Japan. I always get it mixed up, and I know that's bad for me to say, but I'm still learning. You know, nobody's perfect. Jasmine flowers. Yeah, it's all jasmine flower. There's no relation to jasmine rice. But now, actually, I want to try that jasmine infused rice. That I'm going to try, and once I do it, I'm going to put it on Facebook because I know that you guys are going to be interested in the results of that. Okay, so cookie time. So cookies, since this is a light flavor, I would go with a light cookie. I would say a sugar cookie would go great with this. Although I think that texture-wise, it might go well with angel food cake. If cake is on the menu, then yeah, but if we're keeping it strictly cookies, I would say a sugar cookie, something along those lines. Oh yes, that's good. I love the way that jasmine tastes. It's the way after it sits there for a bit, it cools off and you get more flavor. The more you drink it, so I like to let it cool off a bit usually. Oh, I forgot I forgot to slurp it. I know it's force of habit. I love jasmine tea so much I just gulp it. A Snickers bar. I think that the Snickers bar might be okay with it. I wouldn't put too much effort into that. I would say stick to the lighter snacks. Yeah, I tend to gulp my jasmine tea because I just love it so much. I get overexcited. But yeah, I slurped it just for you guys. You're welcome. Just to give my impressions of it, when you slurp it, you get more of an airy taste to it, which I think it adds to the flavor. When it's aired out, you get more of the buttery flavor to it, other than the milk, and I think that's an effect of the cooling, because like I said, when it started, it was more milky than buttery, but now that it's cooling off, you're getting more of the buttery flavor. Mm. Oh, that's delicious. I can't get enough of that. This is one that I might not bring to work just because I'm greedy. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Luckily, it doesn't look like anybody from work is here today, so I might just get away with it. But anyway, everybody from work. Aaron, what's up? Talking about people from work. But you work across the country, so I won't be able to share this with you. I can still get away from it with the office people. Generally, I don't add milk to tea unless it's Earl Grey. But that's just my personal taste. You can add milk to it. Um, I think that if you do add milk to it, though, it might overpower the jasmine flavor. Yeah, sharing is caring, but you know what? They get stuff all the time. This is me now. They know I love them. And besides, my desk drawer is starting to get overflowed, so I'm going to use that as an excuse and say, "Oh, I can't because there's no room for it." But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't add milk to this. I would add milk to a stronger tea. Let's say like a black tea, English breakfast. Yeah, chai tea with milk in it is really good. But it has to be a really heavy chai. Like I think that I would do it in masala chai, which is one I should. Oh no, I have the Thai chai. I think I need to restock in my masala. But masala chai is one of my all-time favorites. It's got a really nice kick to it, but the black tea portion isn't overpowering, so you get a nice burn without too much earthiness to it. So I'm definitely going to be streaming one later on with masala chai, because I mean that's one of my favorites, and I always recommend it to people who like chai. And who knows, maybe in a couple weeks, I'm thinking now because I still have Thai chai here. I have cocoa mint green, which is a very interesting one. I'm considering that's probably going to be next week's. And well, you'll all see why later. And you know, I mean, it's good that you know I'm planning ahead because I think I'm running a little bit low on my purchases. I'm going on Sunday to see what's around. I have to pick up some lemongrass. Have I tried chai tea outside of Adagio? I have. Oh yeah, I actually have. Dunkin' Donuts has a nice vanilla chai, and so does Starbucks. Dunkin' Donuts is more creamy and milky. I think they actually put milk in it. I don't know what kind of chai they use. Greg, you finally you made it. I think that they actually use milk in the Dunkin' Donuts vanilla chai. They also, I believe, they put milk in the Starbucks version as well. But I think they use cinnamon and something else. Well, I mean that's outside Adagio. If you're looking for another answer, I haven't yet. But on Monday as well, I'm going to Chinatown with my roommate, and he says that there's a tea shop that he knows of, and I would probably be interested in there in seeing what they have. So that's definitely something to check out. I might just bring home a chai, and we'll see how it is. If it's really good, I'll stream it. But I want to try it out for myself first because I want to know if it would be worth give it Bigelow. I have had Bigelow tea before. I haven't had their chai though. I think I've had like their English breakfast or something like that. Best Friday. Thanks, I appreciate that. Is it just this particular one or every week? Yes, please do, Teresa. Let me know what spots you go to. And I don't want to hear something like Tivana because those are everywhere. I want you to take me to some place that's like around the corner and little hole in the wall place that has amazing tea because that's what I'm talking about. Celestial Seasonings. They do very good herbal teas. I don't know about. I don't recall anything off the top of my head as far as green and black tea, but I know that they have um, great herbal teas. Authentic places. Okay, well then you lead the way. I'm gonna follow you into those places, and hopefully you'll be able to drag me out. Well, then you're gonna have a particularly hard time dragging me out of Mom's house because that place is really comfortable. All right, there we go. I'm gonna finish off the rest of this pot. A little FaceTime. I don't want to cover myself. I'm gonna miss out on all of this beauty right here. Yeah, I just made everybody in the room go, ah, rolling eyes and everything. Mm. Oh, this is good. I don't want to swallow it all in one shot because that would that would ruin the rest of this video, the rest of the stream. All right. So, any other questions? Anything you want to talk about tea related? I'm open for it. Mm. Nothing. Okay. Well, I'm going to. Oh, so okay. So it's more like a cafe. Oh, I lost you for a second there. So it's gonna be more like a cafe rather than just a tea shop, which I'm down for. Also, you know, you have a nice place. Excuse me. Every week it does that to me. It's all that talking and drinking I'm not used to. Oh, the hiccups. Ah, there we go. I think it's all cleared. Anyway, yeah, I want to. If they make the fresh pastries, I'm down for sure. Uh, and also, you know, any place that maybe for like a brunch where you can have a full meal and then dessert, I'm down. You know what? Well, I'm a guy, so anything that has anything to do with food, anyway. I'm easy to please. Ah, to Curry Hill, Jackson Heights, and Sonali's house. Have I met Sonali? I know of her. I don't believe that we've actually been introduced and had a conversation. But I don't know. We'll see. That's not until August, and then August that's gonna be fun. So anybody else have anything? Just going to I'm going to open the floor again and finish off this tea while you guys converse. Well, I should hope she's friendly. You know, I mean, it's it's gonna be like, you know, walking to you, hey, how you doing? Yeah, that wouldn't work out so well. Like, ding dong, chair to the face. So, oh yeah, special supermarkets as well. There was a place down by Elmhurst. I always look sleepy. You know, those are my eyes. Um, oh, I'm getting Facebook messages. Oh, doggone it. Yeah, I had to answer that really quick. I have not tried a crumpet trumpet yet. No, trumpet crumpet. Ani, you're late. You're like super duper late. I haven't tried it yet. I don't know where to find them. I'm gonna have to like do some research. There's probably a cafe around here, maybe downtown, that'll do it. But we'll see. Because that's not something that's very common in my experience. But once I find a place, I'll be happy to go down there. Oh, hold on. Still. Yeah, of course. So you're sleeping. That you're missing out all the entertainment. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to actually Google a place, and find if there's a cafe that has crumpets. But yeah, it's possible. I'm quite sure. So Ani, just because you came in a little bit late, just gonna recap. I made Jasmine Silver Needle, and you could watch it later. You've heard me talk about how much I love Jasmine, so this one was particularly enjoyable. Madeline cookies, it's possible. If that's the one that I'm thinking of, that's like with the sugar cookies or the very crumbly ones, then that would probably be good. A local bakery. I don't know where there is a local bakery around here now that I think about it. The bakeries that were here, they closed a few down. But that was Spanish bakeries, so it had like a lot of breads and a lot of Spanish pastries. I don't believe that they had any crumpets, but they've closed a lot of them down, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, that would be yeah. That's something I'm gonna have to look into. Mm. Oh, I dribbled a little. At least I didn't drop the tea. That's something that I'm improving on. All right. Anything else? I'm finishing up here. Well, it seems that everybody's gotten their fill, and nobody's got anything on their minds. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks again for joining me. As usual, I'm going to go ahead and put the link on the page for anybody that's interested in trying it. And I give this my full endorsement. As long as you're interested, go ahead and watch it. And I'll be signing off. Have a good night, everybody.